Hello. If you've been watching my channel now for a while, and specifically if you've seen sort of my Finding America videos, you'll know that I like to sort of inject those videos with my own compositions, my own musical compositions. And over the years, a number of you have said some very nice, kind things about that music, but you've also asked me one or two questions. One of those questions seems to be, where do you get a full orchestra from? You must be really rich with friends in high places, you might say. Correct on neither account. For the truth is, I don't have a real orchestra here. What I have is a Music Maker program. It's called Music Maker, and I have the film score edition. And the reason that I chose the film score edition is not just because I'm a fan of the works of John Williams and Howard Shore, Michael Giacchino, and all of those kinds of film composers, but I just felt like that's the kind of music I wanted in my Finding America series. So a few years ago, I purchased this program so that I can compose my own music, and at first it was a little bit of a stab in the dark, I'm not gonna lie. I didn't really know how the program worked. I didn't know that you could get these instruments or these instruments. I just played around for a bit. And I should back up and tell you that, I already had a bit of an intuition about how to write music. I'd done it in the past. I didn't always do it digitally, in fact. I am a piano player, I'm a guitar player, so I'd already had sort of that training in music. And when I lived in England, my friend Richard and I, we used to write songs together at university, and that was my first foray into that sort of world of melody composition. And I just got more interested in it from there. My influences are not just John Williams and the like, but also the Beatles. These musicians that write melodies that linger long well after the fact. And I always hooked on to some of those kind of melodies. I'll tell you what, it's my first love, I think. It's my first passion. If somebody said to me tomorrow, Lawrence, you're a professional composer now, that's your life set, I'd eat their arm off, literally, because I'm absolutely starving. And I think now when I come to compose a piece of music, I try to hook onto a feeling, something perhaps from my past, a memory, or something that occurred that had great meaning to me, and I just sort of write around that. I know that sounds wanky and pretentious, but I do think in all avenues of art, the best work does tend to come out when you do pull from your emotional strings, but you also keep it simple. Let's not try to overcomplicate things. And usually that's when I think my best work comes about. And, why am I telling you all of this now? Well, since I began these plans to visit England in May, it's brought back, as I've mentioned in these videos, it's brought back a lot of sort of old memories. It's brought back this nostalgic side to me. And I've begun composing new pieces, I think, for the Britain trip, which I know will find their way into the Finding Britain series. And I just think, I think it's almost weird. There's been this sort of detachment around my music. I put it into my pieces, but I've never really sat down to sort of explain my process and give away my magic trick. I don't want you to go on thinking that I have a full orchestra in this 450 square foot apartment. That would be absurd. I say, I want to use this instrument. You line it up, then you go into the keyboard right here, and you just write the music. You compose the music however you want. A lot of people with these programs, what they do is they take these samples that were pre-created by the creators of this music program, and they just throw them in and put together music that way. And I almost feel like that's cheating. I want to sit down and meticulously plant all of the notes and all of the harmonies and everything, the percussion, and just create my own music from scratch. And that's exactly what you hear. You hear, of course, the final version. You don't hear the hours and hours of tinkering that I put into each and every note. I mean, I'm sort of a perfectionist, I think, when it comes to that. And I've gotten better and better as I've gone along. It's like with my YouTube videos. I want to improve the more I go. That's part of the plan. It's not just a case of, I think I'm okay at this, this'll do. No, I want to get better and make it more useful to what I do. So here's a little snippet of a piece that I've been working on recently. I think I referenced it in a video or two ago. It's called Center of the Universe. It is drawn from my experiences of living in Grimsby, which of course for the longest time was the center of my universe, and it sort of just plays on those ideas, the ideas of naivety that I had as a young man, but also a sense of confidence, I think, going out into a world that I didn't know much about. I was oddly confident, you could even say naively confident, and I just wanted the music to sort of reflect that. And the piece you hear right now, I mean, this is something that I want to, as I said, make its way into my Finding Britain videos, along with a number of other pieces that I have in the works. And the ultimate goal is, in fact, to create an album where, you know, I can start selling my music a little bit. And so I'll have more details on that further down the road once those ideas have been cemented. For now, you know, it's been said, why don't you create a second YouTube channel for housing your music and putting that out there? I might do that. It's actually something that I'm seriously considering. Basically, I'm trying to put together this whole kind of plan for not only sort of selling the music on iTunes, but before that, putting out sort of teasers or pieces from the album on a YouTube channel. And also, you know, I've been delivering these pieces, I think, to our patrons as well at patreon.com/lostinthepond. Anyone right now who is a $5 or more patron of my Patreon account at patreon.com/lostinthepond will tell you that I've already been releasing this piece of music just last week to those particular patrons, but I plan to do it more and more. It's a good place for me to get a feeler as to whether this is a good piece of music or whether it sort of speaks to you or not, and my patrons are nice enough to tell me either way. You know, I do want to have more control over this music, I think. It's not necessarily going to be something that will be public domain for all people to use. I might make some pieces that way, I think. For the most part, you know, I think I find it very important to retain creative control over the music that I create. The most important thing right now, until all these plans come to fruition, if they do, is that it fits into the series that I put out there, like the Finding America series or the Finding Britain series. And the feedback from you fine people is that it does, that it complements it quite well. And that's something I'm trying to work hard at engineering. And so to conclude, you know, I think I realize that the genre of music that I create is perhaps not for everybody. And also you might just come here for my Finding America videos or my word videos, and this may not be of any interest to you whatsoever. And that's absolutely fine. But those of you to whom it is, let me know in the comments below if you'd like to see a second YouTube channel launched on this. And further still, if you have a favorite piece, let me know. I don't know really if I've put titles out there. I think, you know, I want to do that more. I want to sort of in the videos just sort of give a name to the pieces. I already have names for each of them, but I don't usually put that. I just put music by Lawrence Brown, just to help with the name recognition of some of these pieces. If that means anything to anybody, I'll do it. I felt like I needed to just say this because, like I said, it is my first passion, and I don't really talk about it often enough, I suppose. Perhaps I should just let the music do the talking. Anyway, thank you for watching, and don't forget, join us tomorrow at 8 p.m. Central Time for our live stream here on YouTube. It's a live stream specifically about mine and Tara's visit to England. So start thinking of your questions now, and I will get to those hopefully tomorrow. Okay, bye. Thank you for watching this episode of Lost in the Pond. Don't forget to hit my stupid little face to subscribe, and please share this video with the world. Hit me up on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and if you would like to support this channel, please do so at patreon.com/lostinthepond.